Kristin, trends, in the work that you're doing, what are you seeing? What are you focusing on?
So I think there's a lot of things that we've been focusing on. First, we've been focusing on increasing the rigor in Boston Public Schools so that, there is this non-academic piece of being ready for college, but there's also an academic piece, and we know we're not doing that as well as we need to do. So we've been working with BPS on making sure that all 8th graders have access to algebra. That wasn't the case previously in Boston. So we've gone from 4% of our non-exam school students having access to almost 35% of them having access, right? So beginning to show kids along the way, this is a higher level of math that you can do, you can be successful at it. We're gonna start earlier because you're on the path to going to college. So what we're really trying to do as a system is change the conversation from you need to finish high school to you need to go to college and you need to finish college. Because in Boston, our conversation for a long time has been everybody go to college, and we didn't talk about what happened when you got there. We only talked about getting there, and we have a really good college going rate. It's over 70%. That's, for an urban area, actually for anywhere, that's pretty good, right? When you look at how long it takes our young people to finish, we don't do so well, right? And so in 2008, we published a report that said 35% of our kids in Boston who went to college finished. And that's not good enough, right? So what we've been really focusing on is how do you get young people who manage to get to college to complete? And so we've been working on a pilot for the last several years which funds a coach for 300 Boston Public School graduates a year. And I think someone described it best the other day when they're like, oh, so you're just hiring helicopter parents. And I was like, yes. That's exactly what we're doing. Because, we really think about 40% of the Boston Public School students are going to school in Boston. And they're going to UMass Boston and Bunker Hill and Roxbury Community College and Mass Bay Community College, which are great institutions, but they're the institutions that are the least prepared to help a young person who is a first-generation, low-income college goer to find their way through the place, right? Because they have more students than they can handle to begin with. And so how do you actually put in place supports to help students? Now, we've seen that actually is successful because we've gotten really great results. The question for us now is, how do you take that pilot that costs $1,500 a kid, which you can't pay for in perpetuity, and how do you take what you've learned from that and put it in the system so that you're seeing those kinds of supports for all students? Not only the ones that are probably the most at risk of dropping out, but as she said, all students, because everybody needs to be able to have that level of self-efficacy to get through.